to use semicolons in lists. Now we've just had a chat, haven't we, and talked about actually you need a colon at the beginning. So I have put together a sentence and we are going to add to the end of it. This could be a sentence that you use in your non-chronological report. Loads of you written about Anderson Shelters, and if you have written about Anderson Shelters, you might write about something similar, and you can also use these ideas. The sentence says, many people, so I've used a generaliser as well, many people had to sleep in their Anderson Shelters. To make it more comfortable, they would have, or we could have changed have, I don't really like have, they would keep there. Should we change have to keep there? Do a bit up there, they would keep in there. And then we did a colon. Am I just going to write blanket, toys, pillows with commas between each one? No. When do we use semicolons?
When there's a phrase.
When it's a phrase rather than a single word. So we're going to talk about, we're going to pick the thing, and then we're going to add some information to it as well as to why they would keep it in there. So we talked about blankets, and what we're going to end that with?
To keep them warm.
To keep them warm. Because remember, this was over winter. You started in September, didn't it, the Blitz? So it's not going to be warm, is it? Blankets to keep them warm. You have to excuse my writing on the board. Keeps losing. Then I'm going to do my semicolon. Okay, next.
Would water or tea be one? Maybe.
Water.
Or tea.
Oh, yes. So why don't we actually make that more than that and put food and drink to last a few days? Because also, if the air raid went off in the middle of the night, which it normally did, you're not going to have time to pack a picnic basket, are you? Oh, quick, the air raid's going off. Right, what do we want for tea tonight? Let's put these in. You'd want those things in there ready, so that if you did have to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning and go to the air raid shelter, you've not got to think about, oh, we haven't anything to eat or drink in there. You would need it all stocked up, wouldn't you? So food and drink to last a few days. I mean, you wouldn't be in there a few days, but actually, at the time, they didn't know that, did they? For all they know, they could have had to be in there. The Germans could have bombed relentlessly day and night. It was an unknown. And then I need a what?
Semicolon.
Semicolon. Next. What else might have had in there? Have a go. What do you think children would have liked in there? If you had lots of children, can you imagine? Yes, toys and maybe toys and books?
Yeah.
Okay, games and toys, toys and games. Toys and games are kind of the same thing, aren't they?
Entertainment.
Right, how about toys? Oh, not spelled like that. Yes, sorry, my handwriting. Toys and books. I like that word entertained, to keep the children entertained. I mean, keep the adults entertained as well, I should imagine. I wouldn't want to sit there. They didn't have mobile phones to sit and play on, did they? And it must have been very boring sitting in there just waiting for it to happen. I know they could have slept, but you probably wouldn't have been entertained. You wouldn't be very easy to sleep when bombs are going off, would it? So far we've got, to make it more comfortable, they would have kept in there, that's what we need there, kept in there. Blankets to keep them warm, food and drink to last a few days, toys and books to keep the children entertained, and then I think I need an and, don't I?
And candles to give them light.
Yes. And candles, so they can see at night? Or to see at night, don't need so, do we? To see during the night. It would have also been dark in there, wouldn't it? I mean, they didn't have electricity. So even in the daytime, if you think what the weather's like now, you think how late the sun rises in the morning. Think this morning when I first got up, it was still pitch black outside. If they're in those Anderson shelters all night, it was from, remember, it's from September to May, so those first few months, September, October, November, December, January, February, there's a lot of winter months when the days were getting shorter. So they would have been in there, it would have been quite dark. Yeah. Are you happy with that? Can you see how you could use it in your writing? Has anyone got any other ideas about how a sentence we could use? We could talk about that we could use a semicolon.
I did how the people in the cities helped protect from...
Ah, that's a good one. And lots of people have written about that. So let's have a look. Add a page. I don't know if it's add a page. How people in the cities. So people, should we start a sentence something along the lines? People in the cities supported the war effort by, or people in the cities lessened the impact of the Blitz by. What about that? Because the Blitz was cities, wasn't it? It wasn't so much the villages, not on purpose. I'm put lessened, which means make smaller, the impact. Obviously my handwriting is not overly neat on here because I'm writing on the board. Lessen the impact of the bombings? Or of the Blitz? What do you want?
Of the Blitz.
Blitz. By, and then colon there? Yeah? Colon. Okay, what's the third phrase? What did they do? Think about what we just talked about.
They bombed a lot.
No, think what the sentence is. People in the cities lessen the impact of the Blitz by. So what did the people in the cities do to lessen the impact of the bombing? We just talked about it on the last page. What did they build?
Anderson shelters.
Where?
In the garden.
Right. By. Building. No, you can't read that. Anderson shelters in their gardens. Then what do I need? Semicolon.
Blackout.
Yeah, so what can we make that more of a phrase?
By blacking windows out with thick paint and cardboard.
Now, blackout wasn't just about windows. It was a whole idea. So it could be by following blackout guidelines, including covering their windows. Yeah? Are you building on that or something different?
Something different.
Should we do this one first and then do your one? By following maybe the blackout rules. Blackout rules, comma keeping, maybe dash there. Windows covered. Night. And one more. What else have we got?
I'll put down barrack balloons.
By using barrage balloons to protect key.
To protect key
To protect key.
places.
Yeah. Key places. Key building.
Yeah.
Buildings. Landmarks. Much better word.
I was thinking of that one.
Yeah, no, there's a word on the tips of your tongue and you can't think of it. And then we would do and add something else at the end there. Right, are we all happy with colons and semicolons?
Yeah.
I need to see a colon, semicolon list like this in your non-chronological report. Okay? Super job.